Have you heard of Beelink mini PCs? Of course you have. You watch my channel and you've seen my reviews on them. They reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review this. This is their brand new mini PC. You can see here it's branded EQ. This here isn't supposed to be the most behemoth powerful mini PC on the market, but what it is supposed to do is have still very, very, very good performance, but it's meant to be quiet. You do get good, respectable specifications with this system here. You get an AMD 6600H, which is a great CPU. You're also going to get a respectable iGPU, the 660M. This model here has 24 gigabytes of RAM. Of course, it's not soldered or anything. You can upgrade it as need be. Very, very impressive. So let's jump into this review here. We'll see how this Beelink mini PC goes. I bought a bunch of Beelinks recently. This is the first one they've sent me, but I bought quite a few and I have reviews of them. I think I have another one upcoming actually. And overall, they make really good stuff. So when they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review one, I said, of course, yes, because so far I've been impressed with all of the ones that I purchased myself on Amazon. This should be a pretty straightforward review. I mean, these are nice units in theory. One of the things that they sell as a marketing point is that it's quiet. So we're going to make sure that it's nice and quiet. It's very useful and very reassuring for me if I'm recommending a product on my YouTube and I've personally had good customer support from that company. And again, I didn't leverage my YouTube name. They had no idea who I was. So it's not like they treated me well because I'm a YouTuber or something like that. Not that I'm that big anyways, but yeah, it was quite nice to see that their customer support was quite good. That is fascinating. Wow, okay. So they actually have the power supply internal to the device. Never seen that on a mini PC. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. In fact, that's really neat, actually. So you don't have to have a big power brick. And then they give you an HDMI. Cute little HDMI, too. Nice little presentation here. Okay. So it's got a plastic build to it, but a premium plastic. Nice. I like that color, by the way. It's that... I don't know what color that is. That shade of gray is really nice. It's got a kind of textured top there. Very nice. Little Beelink. On the front here, USB-A. We get microphone headphone combo jack. First USB-C and of course power. Nothing on the sides. On the back, there's a lot of I/O. Holy crap. It has that big fan style. So that's why this thing's probably going to run quiet is my assumption. This will have the big fan style that you get on SER6 and the SER7 from these guys. And it's a nice thick radiator. So you don't have to pump the fans constantly to keep these things cool, which is useful. Power in there. Dual LAN, very nice. So you can run a couple out of there. Another USB-C, another USB-A, another USB-A, another USB-A. So you get 3 USB-A on the front, 4 USB-A total, 1 USB-C, 2 HDMI, and 2 LAN. This thing's obviously geared towards like a business office type thing. Okay, so all the screws in the bottom so far are the same size. Very good. Little pull tab. Plastic bottom. Nice ventilation. And, oh, that's a nice little interior that we got there. So nice high quality RAM. That's 12 gigabyte and 12 gigabyte sticks of Crucial RAM. This stuff is good. I actually buy this stuff myself. I literally have this RAM on hand, right? Same stuff. So this is really good RAM. This is the stuff that I buy on a regular basis. These 24 gigabyte kits, because it's 12 and 12. 24 gigabytes for a lot of people is going to be adequate. 32, you're often paying up quite a bit to go to 32, and 16 is often not enough people. So I've been finding these 24 gigabyte kits to be very good. So this kit right here is actually what Beelink is using inside of their mini PC, which is impressive because that is literally what I buy. I spend money on this, so that's very good. Very good RAM here. Very nice. Ow, very nice. Get out of there. So these will probably run, like the chip in here is a 6000 series AMD. Oh, it says right there. So it'll only run at 4800 megahertz. That's fine. These sticks will just downclock. That's just 4000 series, the way they are. Look at all this stuff. So that's their power supply there. You can see it's got the built-in power supply. Very interesting. Look at this motherboard. Holy smokes. I want to see what's under there. Oh, there we go. Oh, what the heck? So is it a dual NVMe? I'm excited all of a sudden. That's just a heatsink. Yeah, it's a dual NVMe setup. That's sick. So there's your Wi-Fi right there, right? Phison chip there, Micron, so that's Crucial. That's a Crucial NVMe. I'm guessing it's probably a P3 drive. Might be a P3 Plus, but probably a P3. I can tell that right off the bat. And then your Wi-Fi. So that's, you can just leave that as it is right there. Very nice. This thing kind of just slid in there. Put that back. And a second NVMe slot. So it's got dual NVMe setup. That's really cool. And the first one is underneath there, so you can just leave it. It's a good drive, so you can just leave it there. And if you want to upgrade, all you have to do is take off this heatsink here. So nice, big, massive chunks of metal too. Nice heatsink. This whole thing is a heatsink for the under NVMe and the Wi-Fi, and then this is also a heatsink. So they're really going for the passive cooling approach here as much as they can. That way they don't, like, the whole system isn't going to run like a freaking inferno, like I said. So, as a result, you're not going to need this thing to just be absolutely tearing to keep itself cool. You're not going to get brutal throttling issues. Alrighty, we're into the Beelink. Yeah, so we'll just take a quick look at things like software. It was a nice clean install. They have like a little bit of like a custom install, I think they do. A lot of these companies do, just lighter weight basically, with all the crap taken out that Windows comes with, which is actually kind of nice. So let's see what they actually has for software. Oh, okay, so let's check the hardware here. I already said what it was in the intro, but 6600H, great CPU, 24 gigabytes of RAM, running at 4800 megahertz, great RAM. That is a yeah, that's a Crucial P3 drive. Yeah, right there, P3 drive. Might be a P3 Plus, maybe. We'll see when we test it out. That's nice. Good name brand drive. And it doesn't say here, but these are the 660M graphics, so very, very good. So we get AMD Windows drivers. They're actually pretty new too, which is nice. I mean, it's a brand new device, so this is like 13 days old. So they must have literally put this on here and then sent it to me, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, because it's like the 1st or the 2nd today. Oh, the 4th. Okay, whatever. A few days old. Windows crap, Windows crap, Windows crap. Looks good. Mobile. It's all just Windows crap. Yeah, no antivirus crap, so you can just leave it, basically. I mean, you can take out some of the Windows stuff if you want, like Microsoft Family. Okay, we got our little mini PC on the Tower of Power there. Let's test out the acoustics. That's a big selling point of this, is that it's supposed to be relatively quiet. Okay, let's start the test here. We'll also get some temperature readings just off hardware info here. We'll come back with the actual benchmark scores after this and just kind of see how it performs. But I'm just more interested in the noise and the temperatures here. If I lean in close, the fans are on, so they are making sound, but it's like... It's very quiet. I think like the ambient noise of my room is normally 32, 33. So unless I'm like really concentrating on the fan and like trying to pick it out from the background noise, you can't hear it. It's not like the fans are needing to spin more because they're just not really doing anything. Is it like nerfed watts or something? Like, how is it so quiet? Still at 27 watts. I mean, that's not bad. This chip can theoretically go slightly higher. It could boost up more. So they probably have it in the BIOS, just not boosting quite as much. In the BIOS, they probably have it just set to not boost up as much, 30 watts, but it's still respectable for the CPU here. It should still, I'm guessing at least, it's got to get like 9 to 10,000 over here. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, 9,000 basically. So yeah, very respectable for what it is, for basically running silent. Realistically, it's almost completely silent. You can't hear it. And it's not an 8-core, it's a 6-core variant. And it's only taking, 35 watts. There it is, 35 watts there or so. It's doing very well, right? It's just maxed out at 35. It doesn't, I guess they probably disabled a lot of the aggressive boosting is what they did. Because, CPUs in general can boost like crazy for short periods of time. Watts will shoot up to like 60 watts for a brief period of time. But it'll get super hot. Then the fans need to go crazy. Then it'll cool down, and then it will boost, and it will cool down. That's when you get those fan curves where it's going up and down and up and down. That's not happening here. It's just 35 watts right through. And it's silent. Like, I would consider this silent. The fans are on, but they're so quiet that it's quieter than my background noise, or equal. Let's get really close. Even like almost touching it, we're at 34, 35. Like, it's quiet. It is very quiet. So, looking at some real quick benchmarks here, since we already have the cinematic scores, you can see that the SSD inside is the P3 Plus that I mentioned during the teardown. So you're going to get Gen 5 speeds around 4,000, 5,000 megabytes a second. So very good, perfectly fine, and high quality Crucial / Micron SSD. Wi-Fi is very fast. That's about as fast as my Wi-Fi can go here, so no problems there. The front USB does appear to be USB 10 gigabit per second, so we're getting around 1,000 megabytes a second real world transfers. So you can hook up an external NVMe or something like that and get pretty good speeds out of it as well. Okay, we'll do a little game testing here. We're not going to do a ton of it. We know what the 660M graphics can do, which is a lot, to be honest. This is just a game that's relatively new, 2023. Armored Core, Fires of the Rubicon. I'd say it is hard to run, but at the same time it's well optimized. So it's a good game to run on iGPUs like handhelds and that. So it's also really fun. And this is the type of game where if you're playing it at, you can see here 37 FPS, you're going to be fine. This is actually 1080p native. I am on low, but it's native. So, I mean, it just gives you an example of what you can do on this these GPUs here. And I didn't want to put up all the stats, but you can see they're only pulling 24 watts. I was curious to see, this is a slightly lower wattage variant of this chip, obviously. Beelink has slightly lowered the wattages just to keep it from running super loud, super hot. But these AMD iGPUs and CPUs are so efficient that realistically, you're not going to have problems running games on the iGPU if you lower the watts a bit, right? So this would be probably similar to like what a Steam Deck would give you, somewhere around there. Just test one more scene, just an outdoor area, just to see if it's going to drop down. Tooltips, my God. Actually went up, weirdly. I actually expected it to go down. So yeah, you're going to be able to play games like this. I'll just put it that way. Obviously, games that are less demanding than this, not super 3D AAA games, maybe 2D games, 2D, 3D games, or anything that's older are going to run at 60 FPS. But we're getting like a solid 37 here. No scaling too. Like this is just 1080p native, right? So you're going to have a lot of games that you can play on this device. Okay, my desk is messy. That means that I've done a lot of testing. I got sucked into playing Armored Core for an hour. That's the risk. It's the risk of these videos. So what do I think of this Beelink EQ? Well, okay, I'll tell you a couple things. Beelink as a company is great. I've had several of their products. I got one of them and it actually had a defect, just something wrong with, I think it was the memory or something. They were very easy to work with. It was almost like live chat. We were emailing each other, the support, but it was basically live chat. Like it was super fast back and forth, troubleshooting on the spot. They said, you know what, it's probably a defective unit. Send it in. I sent it in. I had a brand new replacement within, I think it was like a week and a half, and that was during Chinese New Year. And that's where their warehouse is. So, I mean, it was surprisingly fast. So I can say from a customer service standpoint, at least in my experience, very good. Online reviews of Beelink from other users, Amazon, they're all very good. I have seen very, very few negative reviews of this company. Me personally, I have used many of their devices and I've done reviews of them. They all seem very good. They use all name brand parts inside. They're not using cheapo stuff. The build quality of these devices is superb in general. So that's just Beelink as a company. This specific model here, it's using that huge fan, that gigantic fan that you can find in the SER6 and the SER7, which are really, really high-end mini PCs. And as a result, this thing here, the 6600H, and I'm sure the higher one, 6800H, is going to run super, super quiet, like basically silent under full load, and very, very cool too. It's not like it's going up to 90 degrees and it's just sitting there. No, it's just not hot because this is such a massive cooling system on this chip here. This is a huge fan in here with a giant heatsink. It just doesn't need to work that hard to keep the thing cool, realistically. So yeah, there you go. That's the mini PC. That is the EQ here from Beelink. It's great, to be honest. 6600H, people may think, oh, it's just a Ryzen 5, it's not capable. It's still very, very capable of a CPU. I mean, it was kind of a behemoth in its day, and it's just getting better and better. And with those iGPU, you can do a lot more with it than, just get stuck with, whatever CPU stuff. You can actually do some gaming. And yes, people play games. I don't know, like, maybe it's not specifically designed as a gaming little mini PC, but a lot of people play games these days. We don't have to be ashamed of that anymore. Even businessmen and people in different jobs, they like to sit down and rip out some games, but it has no affiliation with this company. But they make great stuff, honestly. Very, very good. I buy their stuff on my own, which says a lot, right? That I'm not just waiting for review units to be sent to me. I buy their stuff, and I put my money into these products because I'm confident that they're good, and I'm going to use them and I'm going to like them.